and it actually raised £10,000 for the Essex Air Ambulance, which was a wonderful experience. And we stayed en route in B&Bs and guest houses as we did this whole route from Epping to Harwich. A lovely memory. But back to Grace and Perry's house that you see from the Essex Way footpath. It is rather incredible, with a gold roof and windows. It has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and inside some of Grace and Perry's artwork, which you don't get in your regular Airbnb, and you can stay there. It is a place that you can rent. I saw it on one website recently for £475 a night. So it's quite expensive for a two bed, 2 bath property, but very unique. And it's a testament to the fictional character of Julie Cope. That was the inspiration for Grayson. Julie and every woman of Essex, which is why you sometimes hear it referred to as Julie's house. Roughness.
We're now entering Radness, just seen the village sign there. Very shortly you can see Station Road, and the house is just beyond Station Road, so those on the upper deck may just see the top of it. But at least you know now where it is and how to get there if you want to have a closer look. We can't take the bus down the country lane even to the station, it's a bit narrow. Station Road. So now is the time to look across and see if you can see the gold dome. We certainly can't see it from the lower deck. An easier route to the station there on the left-hand side. But still not wide enough for the bus. Just had a question on the lower deck about the crop. We think it might be borage.
The purple flowers of Echium and borage, yeah, beautiful. And accompanied beautifully by Johnny Pearson's Sleepy Shores, as we still make our way along the shores of the river. Next stop is Harwich, and we will be stopping in Harwich. We'll have a good hour's stop in Harwich, and we've got a few exciting options for you in Harwich. I mean, you might just go to the bank like Christine's doing, or you might just decide to go for a coffee and relax. That's fine, but we have got some other options for you, which we'll let you know about very soon.
I'm going to play another song for you in a moment to sing along to, but before we do, keep your eyes peeled for any signs of the docks opposite Harwich, of course. Felixstowe cranes will be seen on your left-hand side, maybe straight in front of you. They do tower above the landscape when we get a little bit closer. First sighting of the cranes that unload the containers over at Felixstowe dock. There are some on this side of the river as well, in Harwich. And you'll see those very close up, of course, when we get into the town. I remember when we were walking the Essex Way and we came to Ramsey, we thought the end was in sight because of course Harwich is the next town along. And the Essex Way actually does run along the streets of Ramsey rather than the countryside. We have to join the roads here as part of the Essex Way. And at the end of the road here, I do remember crossing this roundabout to get back onto the footpath into Harwich. We will be also coming back through Dovercourt when we leave Harwich a little later after our lunch break. And we'll have a few interesting facts about Dovercourt to tell you about as well on the way back towards Colchester.
Well, we've reached the main road. We're on the A120 now, heading straight for the docks.
Some of the songs we're playing incidentally today, like that one from Petula Clark, very relevant to this bus because this bus was registered in 1966. So that's one of the reasons why we're playing lots of 60s songs today. Not only because Ian and I love the 60s, but I know one or two people on the bus probably enjoy the music of the 60s as well. Some of you are much too young to remember the 60s, I know. So apologies to those younger listeners and visitors on board today, passengers. But we make no excuses for playing lots of 60s songs today.
And Petula Clark, that one was from 1966. So that song was released as this bus was born. Isn't that a wonderful thought?
For those who want to know, this bus has a top speed of 40 miles an hour. which is governed by the engine management system. We were discussing the engine earlier, and this is a replacement engine. This is not the original engine on the bus, just in case you were wondering. The coachwork's original, but the engine is not. It's a more modern diesel engine. The bus was used by Ensign buses before it left the service of London Transport. And I think Ensign buses replaced the engine some years ago when it was used by them in regular service.
So shortly we'll be coming into Parkston Quay, which is where you'll see the big cranes on this side of the river, and then we'll be winding our way into the heart of historic Harwich.
And Ian mentioned Parkston Quay, and of course I don't know if anybody's got a memory long enough to remember the boat trains that used to come from London to Harwich, and the railway carriages used to literally go on their tracks onto the ferries, which also had railway tracks on them, so the whole train would go onto the ferry. Seems hard to believe these days that that would happen. And that's what used to happen at Parkston and Harwich when the boat train used to unload and transfer to a boat, literally the boat train service from London Liverpool Street across to Holland.
In more recent times, you'd get the HSS Stena Discovery from here, the high-speed ferry service that cut the travel from Harwich to the Hook of Holland down to 4 hours. It was an incredible piece of kit. In fact, we both used the service.
On one of its last journeys, actually, because it was such bad weather on the crossing back from Holland that Ian and I were on board, the ship got damaged and was taken out of service for several weeks because of that crossing. And it was just a month or two after that they decided they'd abandon the whole idea of the high-speed ferry and go back to conventional ferry, which takes double the length of time, and still runs, of course, daily, overnight from Harwich to the Hook of Holland.
It's a wonderful sight, actually, when you see the ferry moving past Harwich and into the estuary. But yes, that boat trip did put me off the water for quite a few years, actually, because it was an incredibly rough crossing. And everybody was ill on board, including me, and it wasn't pleasant. But as we head into Harwich now, this is really a very special place for us, for many reasons. We love Harwich, but I think perhaps the main reason we love Harwich is because of a certain boat that we're going to see, Steve.
Yes, we're going to see the LV-18 light vessel, which is now preserved. It's the last manned light vessel built in 1958, and it was used by Ian and myself and BBC Essex to recreate pirate radio back in 2004. I'm sure many of you on board remember Radio Caroline and Radio London and Radio England, all moored. Clearly, on a good summer's day, on a clear day, you could see the ships from the coast. Clinton, Clacton and Walton.
That metal image on the roundabout is of the Mayflower, Harwich being home of the Mayflower, of course. We're going to tell you more about Harwich. Steeped in a wealth of maritime history, many notable residents, including the seafarers Frobisher, Drake, Newport, Fryatt, Hawkins and Jones, they all sailed on numerous expeditions from Harwich, as well, of course, as the town being home to the historic Mayflower, which carried the Pilgrim Fathers to America in 1620. But yes, it was the home of pirate BBC Essex for many years, and we've just got a little bit of an extract of one of the broadcasts that we did with the legend, the king of the pirates himself, Johnny Walker, who joined us in Harwich.
Just before you play that, Ian, we've just taken a quick detour to show you the entrance to the Harwich International Port, which of course is still home to many cruise ships. They do come into Harwich, and of course that famous ferry across to the Hook of Holland. And now we're going back onto the main road into Harwich. Thanks for the detour, Nick. Back to you, Ian.
And a piece of history, really. Steve and Johnny having a chat on Pirate BBC Essex, accompanied by Johnny Walker's famous theme tune. And this was broadcast live from the LV-18, where we're heading to next.
even Ian have had far too many name checks today, but it's good for them. But Steve, come here, son. It is amazing how you've managed to persuade BBC Essex for the 4th time to enable us to have this pirate celebration. Was it difficult?
The thing is, Johnny, I never ever told them. We just got the key from the transmitter cover. They don't know. You see, no, not really, because the dark and dim days are gone, and this is a historic moment.
It was 50 years ago, you know, the BBC did not like us at all.
Hated you.
Yes.
I think there were hitmen out trying to get you. How many was it? That's midnight.
Well, I've heard the figure of, they estimated it at 22 million people, because people were the thing about a ship and a big antenna on the mast, it radiates 360 degrees, so it goes as far to Holland as it does coming into the UK. So people listen to Germany, France, Holland, Belgium, and all over the place. Would they really be brave enough to do it? Would they be stupid enough to do it? It was a terrible thing to do, to deny people their favourite things.
Johnny Walker speaking to me just a few years ago when we did our final recreation of Pirate BBC Essex. That was in 2017, and of course Johnny Walker sadly no longer with us, died around Christmas time of this year, did his last show on Radio 2 just before Christmas. The king of radio, in my opinion.